talk to you a little bit today about the rest of our process. You know, we made the mold, I showed you the little flowers that I found and how we pressed it and got it all ready. Then I showed you how after the mold was ready, we put the clay in it and we made it all kind of nice and flat and pulled out some really nice three-dimensional things. Well, today, what I'm going to do is show you what happened after they came out of my wonderful Paragon kit. Make it do something besides just sit there. Here comes my cat, Bullet. Bullet wanted to say hello. All right. Bullet, what do you want to tell everybody at Elgin Metals, or from us? Okay, hi. This is my firing box, and to the left of it, right here, this is the little piece that came out copper now. All right, so here it is. This is the firing box, and typically when you can see all that coconut, what is it, dust, fiber, whatever it is, that you, charcoal. Anyway, this is what happens. You take it out of all that nasty stuff. Now it's dried, obviously. Here's the other little piece. I took the one out to have it ready to show you. And then I'm going to show you a little bit about how some of this finishes up, which is really quite nice. Now, this is the one I believe that we made first, right there. And these are a couple of other ones that I went ahead and did afterwards. But you can see what a nice relief we have on that. You get some idea of how high that's up. And if you look real closely, you can see right down there is where that leaf is that I put in there because I wanted the design to look good. So you get an idea of what that finish is like. Now I'm going to take this piece right here, and what I'm going to do is finish it and let you see a little bit about those effects. Oh look, Bullet's going to help us. Alright, what I'm going to do is take some of this sandpaper. This is a 400A grit. It's just as smooth as, I don't know, it just barely has a tooth to it. And when I take it over to my piece like that, I can begin to, just by hitting the top of that, I can start to get kind of a nice burnished look on there. Bullet's going to come back and help us here in a minute. Now the other thing that I like to use is my Dremel tool, and I'm going to show you how I set that up, my little Dremel. I can turn that on, and I'm going to show you, I've got this little brass bristle brush, and I'm going to show you how quickly that's going to clean up the back part of my piece. Can you see that shine that's starting to come up? That makes this just ever so smooth. So when somebody's wearing it, there's nothing that's going to snag on the clothing or do anything like that. You can see how quick and easy that is. That's a nice smooth finish then, and so when you've got that against your skin or your clothing, you're not worried about something awful happening to it, okay? Now I could get that same here, but I really do like the patina on it, so I'm not going to mess with that much. Now, after you do that, then you're able to, there you go. You see that little blue flame that comes out there? All right. Now I'm going to use that and ever so carefully burn out part of that and start a nice patina. And if you look carefully while you do that, I'm going to move the camera in closer so you can. If you look really, whoops, sorry, that was my little watch. If you look carefully as you do that, you can see that color change come up. See, you want to, the hottest part is that blue. See that little bit starting to happen. And it's going to continue to oxidize, which of course is what that color is, when I take the torch away. So I'm going to get it to where it starts to lighten just a tiny bit, then move it away and we'll see what happens. It's kind of like watching paint dry, right? Okay. We'll see if anything happens to that. Alright, you can see where we're going. We've got a nice kind of purpley color right up in there, which is awfully pretty, I think, a little fuchsia. And now I've got my soft bit here, and I'm going to just try to pick out some of those edges. I also like to, just kind of like a little frame, I like to go around the edges of the piece. In a minute I'm going to use my Dremel. Get it higher, but you can see where all that's going, and you can see how that's going to give us even a more exaggerated sense of relief. But I'm going to pick up these high places, I think, with the Dremel. So, hope you can hear me. Little feel there for that piece. It just becomes exquisite, I think. I love seeing the lines come out. It's like I said when we were doing the mold, you know, you couldn't make a nicer one. You really couldn't draw it. You couldn't render it in any way. This is almost creator made because everything is so perfect and so precise. Because it's natural, right? It's about what nature has done or what God has done for us. Okay, so anyway, this is about a nice finished place for me. Starting maybe in a little bit, now you can get a better idea of what that looks like. And that's really what I like to do to finish these. I can zoom in, or maybe I can, a little bit. See it a little more clearly. Might be able to see the color a little bit better. I don't know. It's hard with this. That's the first one I did. Almost looks like you have this little spirit being coming in, right, with the wings. And on this one, it's just beautiful little pieces. Maybe a hummingbird up there. We know that's not true, but just a beautiful little piece. And it's a wonderful, easy process, so I can't recommend it enough. Well, I just wanted you to see these after all the finishes and embellishments were done. So let me give you this is the one that we worked so hard on yesterday, I think. And this was the final, and you can see how nicely those colors came back up with the burnishing or with the heating with my torch, a little butane. And then you can see how embellishing it, going back over the highlights, what a difference that makes in terms. I'll see if I can pick up some of those other edges for you by picking it up like that. You can see some of the pretty blues and purples and some of the little places. So I'll put a jump ring through that, and we'll have a nice finished pendant soon. Now the other piece, this is the one that I had worked on before, that has just a bit of that nice kind of purple on it. And you can see some of the highlights coming out on it. And then this was the other one that I worked on later by myself. And it just did one of these remarkable things. You can see the color on that. That is just bizarre, just absolutely beautiful, as you can tell. Lots of those iridescent metal colors that I think are quite nice, and the form coming up like that, and a little bit of those polished edges like I like to give it. Okay, let's see what we can do with those when we get back to them.